During pregnancy, all patients are offered genetic testing to check for the possibility of Down syndrome or other chromosome conditions. Understanding the nature of these chromosome conditions is helpful in deciding whether or not genetic testing is right for you. But before we review the conditions, let's take a step back and review chromosomes. The body is made up of millions of cells. Inside each cell are chromosomes. Humans have 46 chromosomes that come in 23 pairs. The first 22 pairs are labeled 1 through 22. The last pair of chromosomes are called sex chromosomes. These determine if a person is male or female. In this picture, there are 2 X chromosomes, so this is a chromosome picture for a female. You'll see there are 46 chromosomes in 23 pairs again. If we take a look at the sex chromosomes, you'll see there's 1 X chromosome and 1 Y chromosome. The chromosome picture came from a male. But what do the chromosomes do? That is, what are their jobs? Chromosomes are bundles of genetic information which tell the body how to develop and to function. You can think about a set of chromosomes as if they are a set of cookbooks. There should be 46 volumes in this cookbook set, and they come in 23 pairs. Say we picked up chromosome cookbook number 1 and opened it up. We'd see recipes on how to create a lung or how to develop a brain. These quote-unquote recipes are the genetic information or DNA. The body will read these recipes to create a human being. There's a lot that goes into development of a human. When the body reads the genetic information on these chromosomes, or reads all the recipes in these cookbooks, it is important for the body to have the right amount of cookbooks and the right amount of recipes. If there are too many chromosomes or too few chromosomes, this can lead to a problem in development, such as Down syndrome. Here we have a chromosome picture for a person with Down syndrome. You will notice there are a total of 47 chromosomes instead of the typical 46. Looking more closely, there are 3 number 21 chromosomes instead of the typical pair. The medical term is called trisomy 21. Tri means 3, and this means there are 3 copies of the 21 chromosome. This extra chromosome leads to an imbalance of genetic material and therefore specific features of Down syndrome. Kids with Down syndrome tend to share certain physical features such as a flat facial profile, an upward slant to the eyes, and small ears. Medical problems can include a heart defect, bowel problems, low muscle tone, hearing loss, and vision concerns. Not all kids and adults with Down syndrome will have all of these concerns. Most individuals with Down syndrome typically have some level of delay with both physical and mental. Kids may sit, crawl, and walk later than their peers. Down syndrome affects kids' abilities to learn in different ways, but most have mild to moderate intellectual impairment. Kids with Down syndrome can and do learn and are capable of developing skills throughout their lives. They simply reach goals at a different pace. It is important to know that though Down syndrome can occur more often as a mother's age increases, there is nothing a person can do to cause or prevent the extra chromosome. It happens by chance. Here are a couple more examples. Trisomy 18 and trisomy 13 are also chromosome conditions caused by having an extra 18 or 13 chromosome. This is not the same as Down syndrome because a different chromosome is involved. Trisomy 18 and trisomy 13 are more rare than Down syndrome. However, these babies have more severe problems, including heart defects, brain abnormalities, and other birth defects of other major organs. Trisomy 18 babies can be very small. Trisomy 13 babies can have eye abnormalities and cleft lip. Because of these life-threatening medical problems, many infants with trisomy 18 and 13 die within their first few days or weeks of life. Only 5 to 10% of children with this condition live past their first year. Finally, in terms of entire extra or missing chromosomes, sometimes there can be an extra or missing sex chromosome. To review, typically a female has 2 X chromosomes and a male has 1 X and 1 Y chromosome. Sex chromosome conditions include a female having an extra X chromosome or trisomy X, or a missing X chromosome or Turner syndrome. Overall, women with these conditions do not have developmental delay, but may be more likely to have learning disabilities. Women with Turner syndrome will have short stature, infertility, and can have heart defects also. Men with an extra X chromosome have Klinefelter syndrome, and men with an extra Y chromosome have XYY. Both are also associated with possible learning disabilities, but no major birth defects. Men with Klinefelter syndrome are typically infertile and have low testosterone levels. Overall, kids and adults with sex chromosome conditions have fewer health issues than those with Down syndrome, and typically become independent adults. So far, we've talked about when there is an extra or missing chromosome. Sometimes, though rarely, only part of a chromosome is missing or extra. We call this a deletion or duplication. Babies with deletions or duplications can have varying degrees of developmental delay and/or birth defects. The specific type of problems will depend on which chromosome is involved and the size of the problem. Usually, parents at risk for these problems either have had multiple miscarriages, have a concerning family history, or have concerns on their ultrasound in the current pregnancy. So, in summary, we have reviewed the different kinds of chromosome conditions for which we offer genetic testing during pregnancy. It is helpful to understand what these conditions are like so that you can decide if they are the type of problems you would like to know about before the baby is born and therefore have genetic testing.